Good morning, everyone. Just wait a little bit until everybody joins me here. Um, I know I switched over the other journey that I had to something that I thought was a little bit more profound in terms of what we can use at this particular time. And so I just wanted to say hello to everybody, and I rescheduled it for actually this time. I canceled the first one. So joining me now, welcome. Nice to see whoever's here and whoever joins me during the week. As you know, we're experiencing a lot of craziness in the world, and these times require us to go within as we've doing this path. And most of you who are joining me, who resonate with me, are on that inward journey to make peace with oneself, to find their inner core, so that we have the strength to proceed and move forward in life in our own authenticity. One of the things that we as citizens of this earth choose to find ourselves, or to at least sometimes we distract ourselves. We look for things that can occupy ourselves from taking the initiative of our own power, and we wind up getting caught in the external world and looking for things that keep us stuck away from ourselves. What I wanted to discuss today was the subject of the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome is the feeling that we're not good enough for what we're going to take on the next part of our journey, the next steps that we take, which means that when we proceed, we sometimes feel that we don't have the proper skills or the confidence to go forward in our new venture or our new idea of ourselves. And this is important for us to get this out of the way, to make it clear that everybody who starts something new isn't good at what they start. And everybody who makes a leap forward into an area that they're uncomfortable with, it takes a lot of time to get used to it. I remember myself as a school teacher, my first 2 or 3 years, it was basically fighting myself on feeling, am I good enough for this? In other words, an imposter at trying to be a teacher. It required me to go within to actually retrace the steps of my own childhood, how I was parented, how I was taught. And then it required me then to go from there to be able to look at life from a place of not the things that I was influenced by, but from an open mind and open perspective. And with that open perspective, I was then able to deal with the feelings of inadequacy at starting something new. And that required me to trust through and to take that leap of faith and to continue with it without giving up. And sometimes in life, we reach that place where we're in telling people to do something. We're in a position of authority. We're a school teacher, we're a boss, or we're in a place where there are people working not underneath us in a negative way, but in terms of the business hierarchy of where a person stands. We sometimes, if we're looking for power, then it's easy for people to be feeling they're on top of dealing or else or somebody's, work. But if we want to have equality within our lives in terms of feeling that we are all on the same page with one another, then we have to look at that particular sense of where we're coming from. And so imposter syndrome is something that we all experience when we start something new. And not only when we start something new, but it also is a phenomenon that exists when we're on a different path. So for example, if we're on a spiritual path, sometimes we go around in circles and we meet the same places and we lose the faith or the trust that the path we're on is actually in evoking certain new ways of thinking or ways of acting. But it requires us nonetheless to continue on that path so that we overcome the feeling of inadequacy. And everybody experiences it. Some people don't admit to it, and then they're in conflict with themselves, and then that becomes externalized in the obviously outer world. So what we want to do is we want to sit with ourselves and feel what aspects of ourselves don't feel authentic. That's the first thing. And where it's in conflict with ourselves, our inner voice, or the image that we have of ourselves, that requires us to go inward to rebalance somewhat the perception of ourselves. And so what I'd like to do today is I'd like to go on a journey to uncover the parts of ourselves that we feel aren't adequate enough. And by looking at those parts of ourselves, and we can understand that we all have these feelings of inadequacy, that we don't feel always 100% in our confidence, 100% in our authenticity. But the most important thing is to first recognize that, and by recognizing that, we can forward then to put out the flames or the fire of that perception that we have. So what we'll do is we'll go on a journey of how do we remove the doubt, the self-doubt that exists within ourselves, and see what your spirit animal brings. And once you remove that self-doubt, then that imposter syndrome goes away, and then you recognize the fact that on your journey of life, you're going to encounter these feelings, these emotions of up and down. But nonetheless, your ego has to be pushed aside, and your subconscious mind, your higher self, has to lead you, or should lead you, or you should try to be led by the inner voice, which is your soul's voice. Okay, so let's go on a journey to uncover the aspects of ourselves that we don't feel are, or more so the fact that what part of ourselves feels like an imposter as it relates to our work, relationships, even our self-talk. And let's see what you get. All right. If you can give thumbs up in the chat, I can see the chat, but obviously I won't be able to respond because I'm drumming. Just let me see if this sounds okay when I'm drumming. Thank you, activated pineal. Can you hear this? I can look at the chat. Just give me a thumbs up if it sounds okay. Well, this is better. Okay, so we're going on a journey to uncover the imposter in ourselves so that we can become whole, we can be united, and recognize that we will have these moments of self-doubt. What is your self-doubt? Okay, let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Make sure you're not operating any heavy machinery or driving a car. And let's go on our journey. It's fall out, and all the leaves are falling on your path. The beautiful colors of red, yellow, and slight green blanket the ground with falling leaves. And as you walk, you crunch over the sound of the leaves under your feet. And as you walk along, you see squirrels running by and birds whistling in the tree. The winds are picking up and the temperatures are becoming cooler. And as you walk this path, you think of your life and the parts in your life where you played a role that didn't suit you. And as we get into our professions in life or our life purpose, there are times we don't feel authentic, that we're completely in unison with one another. while this is very normal, we each have different self-doubts. Create this compensation by becoming more than we really are at different times. And as we walk this path up ahead, the path becomes winding, but the scenes are very beautiful. The wind is blowing, the leaves are fluttering in the air, and they're falling in front of you as you walk. And as you walk on this path to the right, you see a lake through the trees. The crisp air in the air fills the freshness that you breathe in. And as you walk on the right, you see this lake through the trees. There's a path. You walk along, looking at the still water. You look up and the sun shines through the trees on your face. You continue to walk, and up ahead you see rocks that form a little mountain. And as you get closer, you climb up. And as you climb up, you sit at the top and overlooks the lake. Think of the parts of your life where you played the imposter. The times in life where we all play the imposter. The cyclical pattern forces us to go around in circles to face the same exact things that we run away from, until we meet ourselves fully. What aspect of yourself have you avoided in order to play the imposter? And as you sit there and you look to the left, an animal appears. What animal do you see? Ask the animal to assist you in deciphering the parts of yourself that have been an imposter, the parts of yourself that you deceived but are working on, the parts of ourselves that we all deceive or sometimes don't feel good enough at doing, so we compensate. What parts of yourself have you compensated? Ask the animal. And as you look at the animal, you notice its body language. Close your eyes. And you open your eyes, and the animal is still there. You thank it. And when you thank this is you stand up and you stretch your arms out and you look at the sun and the sky, the blue sky and the blue water below. You take a deep breath in and you exhale. Renewed with the new information that assists you in your journey. And you walk back off the rocks. You follow the path, now with the lake on your left. And you walk and continue. And you make your left turn back onto the main path. Less judgment towards yourself, more self-love. And the winds pick up. And the sun shines brighter on your face. And as you walk on the left, there's a beautiful pine tree with the pine cones on the floor beneath it. And you can smell the pine. And as you put your hands on it, it absorbs any of the remnants of this journey that you just took. It exchanges the energy with you. You remove your hands and thank it for this connection. And you walk out of the woods. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Move your hands, move your feet, and when you have a chance, open your eyes, back into the room. Okay, as we've mentioned before, we all are faced with imposter syndrome, the feeling that we're not good enough, wherever it may be, whether the first time in life is doing something where other people are doing it better than us, when we're in school, where we see people getting specific grades, doing specific work, and we try, we succeed, but we don't feel authentic with ourselves. It can carry over to any aspect of ourselves, but as we get older, usually comes in the form of the work we choose, the positions we have at work, our interactions with people and relationships. And so it's so important for us to be able to look at the parts of ourselves and recognize the fact that we will go through stages of feeling like an imposter. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's important that we keep going on our journey, on our path, and not give up, so that we can overcome and override and know that we have this capacity that whenever we run into this situation where we're in conflict with ourselves, where our ego and subconscious mind are dueling it out, that we override the monkey mind by telling ourselves to continue flapping our wings, keep going, taking those leaps of faith, and being able to know that you are supported and that you will naturally face adversity. And sometimes the greatest adversity is our own mind. And it's important for us to recognize that and keep going. So I want to thank you for joining me today. Check out my YouTube channel. I'll be posting an interesting video that I had today, earlier this morning, with a 98-year-old Holocaust survivor who became a Nazi interrogator, as well as, if you're interested, in my Patreon page, where some of the other tiers will offer healing work, Akashic record reading, and the Tai Chi that I'll be showing different techniques and modalities on that page. All right, I want to thank you again, and I hope you have a great day. Remember, nature is nurturing us, so let's nurture nature. And remember, we're walking each other home. And know that we're not here forever. Our soul exists forever. The body doesn't. And it's important for us to teach each other and learn from one another. All right. Have a great day.